Hey guys, this is Jeremy, and in this video we're going to go over how I use AI to apply for a job. My friend sent me the other day this interesting job posting over here, and he said I thought I would be a fit. So I figured, let's upload my resume to AI. Let's, take the text here of this role. Let's modify my resume so that way I can be, you know, I I can use the keywords that are in this posting, right? Because nowadays, a lot of these companies are using AI or software in order to review your resume before it even gets to a human. So you want to make sure you're using the same verbiage and the same terminology that they're using in the job posting. And yeah, we'll see how I can update my resume, see if there's anything that I don't want to lie, right? That's important. I don't want to lie on my resume. I want to be truthful about what my experience is. But if there's any gaps, I want AI to address those gaps and see if there's a way I can truthfully meet all the minimum requirements and even the above minimum requirements for this job. So let's get into it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upload my resume. This resume that I have here, it's an older one. I haven't updated it since January, but hey, we'll see what it comes up with. And then I'm going to use Super Whisper. Super Whisper is an app. I love it. I love it. I love it. Love it because it lets me talk to it lets me talk to the computer, and it'll transcribe what I'm talking into text, and then it also runs it through a layer of AI. So I'll use this program when I'm just talking. We could put it in default mode. If I'm sending a message or if I'm sending an email, I could also do it during a meeting. I can run this so that way I could take meeting notes. But my favorite right now is using it for prompt mode. So that way I can create a well in-depth prompt using AI, using my words that I'm saying, and then it's going to process it so it can make it into a prompt, which then I put into ChatGPT. In this example, I'm going to use ChatGPT 5. And we're gonna. I'm not gonna go into the difference of all of them because I know there are some differences, but I always play around with all of them. Anyways, that's not what this video is about. This is about going into how we're gonna get you a job, update your resume so you can get a job, right? So we're gonna speak to ChatGPT here. All right, write me a prompt. Actually, hold on. Am I in the right mode? I don't think I'm in the right mode. All right, good, perfect. So now we're in the correct mode. You see, prompt mode is green. All right. I'm going to upload a job description, a job title, job description, and job requirements. I also uploaded my resume. I want to make sure that I update my resume so that way I can use the same verbiage and use the same terminology that is listed in the job posting. Also, identify if there are any experience or skill gaps that are not explicitly mentioned on my resume, and let me know how I can address it. Only use my first name. And I think that's it. We'll see what AI comes up with next. Yeah, I threw in that only at my first name because my resume has my full name. So if my full name comes in, I'm gonna have to edit this video. And I like to show you guys all the things I do normally to get this done. All right, so we want to update the user's resume to mirror the job posting terminology and highlight alignment. Identify explicit experience or skill gaps not shown on the resume. Advise how to address them. Refer to user only by your first name. Perfect. All right. Inputs to expect: job title, description, requirements, user. All right. So what we're gonna do here, underneath it, I'm gonna put in the job. So I'm gonna go over here to this, and I'm just gonna copy it. We're gonna copy all this text here, all this text. Whoa. We're going to copy that. We're going to go back into ChatGPT and paste it right there. And now we got the job listing all right there. And let's see what we come up with. I've used ChatGPT before for prepping for interviews too, so I could take this job description and also like kind of, you know, give me an idea of what kind of questions I should expect on the job interview, and it gave me like note cards. But all right, here's my analysis of my resume. Right, I already have a strong Verizon experience. Okay, I have cross-functional collaboration, measurable impact. All right, awesome. Integrated communications, media relations strategy. All right. This is my alignment. All right. Resume edits. Jeremy has a passion to help others and find a better way to do old tasks. Keeps up communications and business operations leader with extensive Verizon experience driving integrated communications, competitive analysis, and cross-functional initiatives. Wow. Dude, that is fancy. All right. Skilled at shaping narratives that differentiate in a competitive marketplace, improving brand reputation, and aligning stakeholders to deliver measurable results. See, I would have said it a different way, but this is a resume, right? We're not talking person to person here. We're talking to a computer software and also to the HR person who's going to send this over, right? The interview is where it's person to person. What I would say here is like I'm really good at making complex things and make them sound a lot easier. You know, I can cater the words that I'm using so that way it presents well to the correct audience. You know, if I'm talking to an executive, I'm going to give them a high level overview, but if I'm talking to an analyst, I'm going to go more detailed because they need to know the details, the analyst. But the executive really doesn't need to know how to do all the work. They just need the overview. Anyways, I like this. I'm gonna use that. Manager business operations, developed, and so before. All right, it was just, yeah, I wrote it myself, and that's why I love AI, because it really helps me with using the right words that people want to see. Developed and executed integrated communication strategies across cross-functional teams, aligning call center, retail, and corporate stakeholders around business priorities. Improved campaign effectiveness through structured planning and stakeholder agreement. Before, I partnered with senior analysts to find the data, and after, I monitored and analyzed competitive and operational landscapes. Oh my gosh. It's saying the same thing, but it sounds much more impressive. All right. So you see how it just makes it so that way it caters it to the job description. So I love that. And I'm going to make those updates to my resume. We have the gap analysis. So here are my gaps, right? I don't have media relations or press experience. So what I can do is I can highlight experience presenting to executives, leading communications through change management, and aligning stakeholders. All right, yep. Integrated communication plans. It's implied in project cross-team leadership, but should be reframed with that wording. Reputational risk mitigation. All right, so I do problem solving. So I need to reframe it as identifying risk and protecting brand reputation. Oh yeah, that's what it is really, because like when you're either doing it for the customer or you're doing it for the company, right? Why not both? Upskilling. Okay, I need some upskilling. Direct media relations or press outreach. Completing a short PR media training or HubSpot. Oh, I can do a certification. Nice. Consumer value proposition messaging. All right. And it's, significant gap. Strong reporter relationships. I don't have a direct media experience or connections. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to update my summary, update my resume. We're going to reframe my bullets. We're going to adjust my search role, skills section additions, integrated communication strategy, competitive landscape analysis, media relations, cross-functional collaboration. All right, yeah. And all that is really true. Media relations, I have to ask about that. What does that mean? What does that mean in the context of my skills and experience? What else we have to do? Address gaps, reframe the bullets. Yep, and I'll do some of the minor upskilling as well. Build an example project to show ability to manage consumer messaging. Oh, okay. So what does media relations mean in the context of my skills and experience? So for Verizon means it's building and managing relationships with journalists, pitching stories, responding to press inquiries, shaping coverage by positioning Verizon's products in a favorable way. How it connects to my experience: I speak with executives and stakeholders, proactive and reactive communication, cross-functional narrative alignment, and reputation and risk awareness. Right. This tells a story. While you haven't pitched to the Wall Street Journal, you've done the internal equivalent. Yep, that's right. All right, cool. So yeah, just a quick way, I could have it update my resume, but I mentioned this before in the beginning of the video. But we could also say, we could also ask about interview questions, right? So, what are some interview questions I could expect during my interview? So yeah, we could ask about what are some of the interview questions we could expect. We'll post that here. Tell me about yourself. What interests you about this position? All right, role specific categories. So, right, how does your experience prepare you for the role? And actually, I should have asked also for like potential answers, right? But sometimes that will help me too, because then I'll have like a script, and then depending upon how your interview is, you can even have your notes open, right? Or you just got to commit them to memory. But it's based. That's why it's always good to use truth, right? But it's even easier to like know what to say when everything is true. So if you have an answer to this based on your actual experience, you don't have to. It's not as hard to memorize it, because you just have to relive, your own direct experience. So yeah, just wanted to show that. I hope that's helpful. I'm pretty interested. I'm gonna apply for this job and see how it goes. And we'll see. Maybe I'll start having some media relationships in the future. But if you guys want to see more AI videos, or if you want to know, how you can utilize AI for different tasks, I would love to show you, the way I use it, and maybe we can figure out, new ways to use it together. Leave a comment below, and subscribe if you want more AI content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.